Hi everyone, my name is Zara, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own polymer clay coaster. Let's get straight into the video. So for this coaster project, you want to start off with a printout of your favourite Animal Crossing character. So I am doing Stiches, of course. So I actually resized this and his head size is around 10 centimetres roughly, and obviously you need it big enough for your glass or cup, whatever you're going to put on your coaster. So I started off by rolling out this orangey colour to make the base, and I'm just using like an acrylic roller. You can find these on Amazon or craft shops, and then I folded up the edge to create like this lip area, as I'm going to be filling it with resin. So this will ensure that the resin will stay on the top and it will give it a nice flat surface as well, and it won't drip over the sides. So this is just a way to ensure that all the resin will stay in place where you need it to and it won't be messy. So I made it the lip area and I just missed out the ears, as I'll be adding those on later. So then I moved on to the other facial features. So I did the purple bit that he has at the top. Again, just rolling this out with my acrylic roller. So I actually kind of did this a bit backwards and I rolled out all my clay over the paper. Other people like to kind of use the paper as a template, cut the paper out and place it over the clay, so you can cut around that. So that's probably a bit easier, but yeah, I don't know, I just did it this way. So I just used my craft knife to kind of trim the areas down, and then if you cut away too much, you can always just use your fingers to smooth the clay back together. It's not an issue. So then I placed this on to my orange base, and I made sure that I covered the top part as well, the lip I made up there with the orange, so that the orange lip wouldn't show through, because I wanted to try and match Stiches as close as I could. So next I moved on to the mouth, and the base of his mouth is white. So I was trying to get this quite thin. I basically made a mistake later on, which you will see, but you need to make sure that the facial features aren't going to be taller than the lip that you've made. Otherwise, when you go to pour your resin over, it's going to poke out, and we don't want that. Otherwise, your glass or cup won't be flat on your coaster, and then it completely defeats the purpose. So just warning you now. I then moved on to doing the ears. So I used the inner color, so this one is orange, as the base for the ear, and I did the same with the green ear. So I made it the actual size with the outer bit of the ear and the inner bit of the ear, so that would be the base. So you can kind of see that there, it's the actual size. So then I can put the surrounding color on top of it rather than around it. And then again, this is going to help hold the resin in and stop it from leaking out. So I made these two snakes of green clay and blue clay, and then I've put that on top of the ear base, and then smoothed it down onto the orange and kind of purple clay that I already had there for Stiches. Let me know in the comments below which villager you're going to make into a coaster. I would love to know. Then I started doing the mouth and the eyes. So this is the last bit of the clay. So this is where I kind of made a mistake. So my eyes were okay, but my nose and my mouth, parts of the clay, were too thick. So these ended up being taller than the lip I'd created to hold all the resin in. So I ended up cutting it down, but I will show you as that comes along. I thought I would leave this in because these things happen, and I'd rather just show you my learning so that you won't make the same mistake as me, and then it will help in future as well. Now I know to make sure if I'm doing something like this, not to make the clay too thick and kind of be a bit more wary of what I'm doing basically. And for the eyes, I kind of put two line bits of clay together, and then I smoothed them down and got rid of the creases, so then it just looked like one X shape altogether. And then I placed it onto the base and baked it in the oven for 20. So I baked it in the oven, and this is how it turned out. It really doesn't look much different, to be honest. And yeah, as I said, the mouthpiece was too tall compared to the lip area, so I grabbed my craft knife and cut this down, and it didn't look very nice, so I grabbed my brown Posca pen and actually coloured over this so it would kind of hide that whiteness. I'm not really sure like why it looked like that, but yeah, it's like white after I cut it, rather than the like nice kind of teddy brown colour that it was originally. Next I grabbed my resin, so I'm actually using UV resin, so you need like a UV light to cure this, or you can leave it in the sun to cure. I prefer using this because I'm really impatient, and epoxy resin, sometimes you have to leave it for 24 to 48 hours and you have to cover it so it doesn't get dusty, etc, etc. So yeah, I like to use this, and yeah, I cured it with my UV lamp. So this is just a nail lamp I have. And then lastly I grabbed some felt, so I've got this blue felt scraps here, and I cut out 4 like square shapes, and this is kind of just to help the coaster not slide around because the bottom of the clay is quite smooth, and just give it a bit more stability. So I glued this on with some super glue for every like square piece of felt I had, and then I waited for that to dry and the coaster was basically complete. Can't wait to show you how this turned out. It's coming shortly. I'm just finishing off gluing it down at the felt squares. But I really love how this turned out. If you did as well, please let me know in the comments. I'd really like to know your thoughts. So here is my nice refreshing Ribena, and here is the coaster. I think it looks so good. I'm really pleased with this. I've never made one of these before. I think it's turned out quite well. Some of the edges could probably be a bit neater, but that's okay. And that's the felt on the back. I probably put a bit too much glue on one of those, but it's alright. So yeah, here is how it turned out. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video. Do let me know which Animal Crossing villager you're going to make. Of course, you can do this with kind of any simple character, even like Mario for example, Princess Peach. You just simply need to print out the picture and you can follow that as a guide. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please do leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you next time. Bye!